When you're creating anything, a cake in the kitchen, a graphic design for your friend, a design for a client who's paying you, a new car, to me, you're participating in something which is holy, okay? The world is about creating. The world is not about destroying. My name is Chris Bangle. You're in my house here in Italy, the house and studio, in northern Italy in Piedmont. But I'm an American. I got my big break when I was hired from college to go to General Motors in Germany. I was there from 81 until 85, and then moved to Italy to work for Fiat with my new wife, Catherine. She's Swiss. And I went from being in the interior studio at Opel to being an exterior chief at Fiat. But in 1992, BMW was looking for a design director. They asked me to come and join them. In BMW, I became the group design chief after we expanded and added more brands like Mini and Rolls-Royce. And I was there for 17 years. Well, in the days that I was in BMW, we did some radical things that we felt were necessary and have subsequently proved out to be at least a trendsetter within the industry. Many people followed where we led. Among those was the rear end of some cars, which was very particular. In those days, we were making cars much taller. They had to be to get above the engines, because the engines were taking huge amounts of air in to be more efficient. And we had a real conflict. I mean, roof is going up, tail is going up, but these lines are down here. How do we connect them? So we connected them in a completely new manner for the time, but we felt it was very logical. And at the time, I said, well, I guarantee you when other people get to this problem, they will solve it in the same way. And sure enough, they did. Right? But, well, not only did we get the fustest with the mostest, we got into the press. And, well, so that's maybe how my name also got around. If you were a designer asked to make something that contains liquids, you have to understand what is it that contains liquids. It could be a bucket, a barrel, a can, a glass. And you decide after a year, it's not cans, it's a glass. Now you spend another year deciding which glass. You put teams of designers against each other. Each one believes that their type of glass is the best glass. And you come down to this glass after a year. You believe it's this, but have you really looked at it? So you spend a year then just looking at it and making it perfect. Seeing, really learning to see. So these three phases, understanding, believing, seeing, are what you have to go through. If you think you can skip a phase, you'll wind up going back and repeating it. People think Gina, they think stretchy cloth car. It's an aluminum sports car, but the outside stretches and moves and wrinkles and opens up. By 2001, we actually had a running car. It was great. But in reality, Gina is a philosophy of cars, which is about material handling, which is about low investment. It's about prioritizing emotion. It's about letting the materials do the talking. And in fact, we just made part of the studio here using Gina cement casting. So we'll go outside and take a look. When we talk about using a Gina technique, what we mean is not using fixed rigid tools, not using something that gets thrown away afterwards, but trying to use materials in a very natural sense. So the whole ceiling in here has been cast in cement only by using cloth put over some bags on a normal flat board. It makes for a really dramatic sort of cascade of shape. So I can't wait to see what this looks like when it gets finished, because I have a hunch you're going to feel like you're underneath a river. At BMW, I was most proud of the culture we built there. I think when I started, there was 150 people in design. And when I left, I think the house team was somewhere around 350 or maybe 400. So to grow a team that much, but to grow it in a way that they thrilled for each other's successes, despite the fact this is a very, very competitive process. You are putting people literally against one another in the process of trying to create the best car. It's highly stressful, but they liked each other. We built a design culture. That sounds maybe easy, but it really isn't. And then with the hopes I would be able to leave at my 50th birthday. That would have been 15 years in BMW, nice and clean. But this place wasn't ready. And it took another 2 years. And when I was 52, I left BMW. Lots of tears, hard to leave a big team and family like that. But came down here, found a whole new team and a whole new family in this area. So this is where we are now. When we came to Italy in 1985, we were just married. Catherine was Swiss, and I was American, and we moved to Italy, and neither of us spoke Italian, and we had to learn a new language, and we moved houses a couple times, and our son was born here, and I made a career. And that was the first 7 years of our marriage. And you know, those 7 years are really important. They weld you together as a unit. So later, when we were in Germany at BMW, people would say, so where are you from? I said, well, I'm from America, and she's from Switzerland, but we are from Torino. So the idea to come back here later was just obvious, had to be here. Explaining Chris Bangle Associates is best done if I say what it isn't. It's not Chris Bangle Design. Chris Bangle Design would imply you come to me, I am the artiste designer Chris Bangle, and I give you this. And I'd much rather that people understood that there's a relationship we build with the client as an associate. Who are the associates? They're our clients, they're our designers, they're the client's engineers, the client's marketing people, whoever they bring into the process. The end users are actually associates if we can bring them into the thought process. Anybody who's a stakeholder in developing this is an associate. Together where their opinions count, listen to them. I've got my opinion too. And maybe in the end of the day, I have something to offer through my experiences, which is also sort of special. But it's how we do it together as associates that counts. There are some great design leaders that are just absolutely tyrant about a sort of picayune approach to correctness. And I have to admire that because I can't really do that. There are other design leaders who have their own look and feel. I've always been impressed by design leaders who ask questions and aren't afraid to ask themselves questions and aren't afraid to take people where they might not want to go. You know, like Gertrude Stein said, a leader takes you where you don't want to go. You know, it's when you're on the front of the dog sled, as they say, and you're the lead dog. That's a leadership who has taken a hell of a lot of snow up the nose, okay? But it's got the best view. I'd like to think that the reason that the companies come to me is because they need that fresh thinking. Maybe some companies think they can institutionalize creativity in such a way that today on Tuesday we'll be creative and tomorrow we'll just write about it and stuff like that. I don't think it works like that. I think you need another type of culture, a culture which is maybe a bit more expressive and more conducive to any kind of creativity. I hope that people understand that I lie on the emotional side of the design spectrum. What I believe we're doing is not only making something for people's emotions, but something which is created out of our emotions. And if we can stay with that in our design so that when you use the product, somehow you feel that. Somehow you know that a person cared about this one moment. I mean, that is really what any first-time experience with the product should be. Reliving through your experience what the guy who actually made it did when he did it the first time. And it's got to be new, it's got to be fresh. You don't want the 10th glass of wine, you want that first glass of wine.